passing away for vitamins. She just woke up. She works hard, so she sleeps in late sometimes. So, if you're enjoying the shows today, what have you started with? We started early today, didn't we? Boy, we had a good time doing shows. Go check out how much fun we had on some of them streams. Oh, we had a blast. So, we're going to give her one of her ginger defense immunities right now. And then we're going to have some kombucha. She's having her vitamin drink. Alright guys, cat told me off as usual, or he wants me to come cuddle with him. I don't speak cat, so I don't clearly know exactly what's happening, but the way I see it, he's either telling me off. Well, one thing I don't like is to be talked over, right? And I know some people like to do that, so I just won't ever hang around with you again. People who usually, I really don't even care what you have to say 900% of the time. Most people are so dumb they don't even have a clue, you know? As I stated in the title, vanity is vain. It just makes you look bad. It's a bad look on you. I get disappointed, you know, because people never get told. They live a life of complete lies. And I'm telling you, if you buy too much stuff, whether it's really cheap shit or really expensive shit, you're probably wasting your money on garbage. Here's why. Is the stuff that you're buying for yourself collectible? Is the first question you need to ask. Is it collectible? Second question, but it should be very first and foremost, is it worth anything next year after you've used it? Is it worth $1 next year? Quickly say it's worth $1 only at best. And you would never buy somebody's used, name something that you have right now, right? Or you could look at, like, people, did you know people even buy used? I would never, but people buy used Air Jordans. I was like, I would never do that. I'm telling you, I made some mistakes in my life, but the mistakes that I made are small and minimal in the vastness of how people have lived their entire life. The mistakes I made were early on. I should also state that. Of course I still make mistakes. I'm not perfect, but I'm not stupid either. And not being stupid is how you get this far, period. Now you want to say what I have compared to what you got. You'd be disappointed. You're either older than me with nothing, or you're younger than me and you got 1/10 of what I have. You know what I mean? You could be disappointed. So, in life, you have two choices. You can make a good executive business decision for you and whoever you plan to be with. If you're a greedy, just soulless person, you just want to be by yourself, or whether life hasn't treated you very good in the romance department. You're gullible, and again, it leads back to the very beginning of this. There's some things going on that you choose over recognizing what matters. That's with yourself and others. Vanity is in your friends as much as it's in you, or it's not in you and your friends at all. That's how life is. And that's what makes a person a boss, is the recognition, when they can recognize how shitty some people live their lives. That's learning from one's mistakes. And if you don't think vanity, ignorance, and vain, just being a vain person, those aren't the epitome of devilish and just disgusting, we can't be friends. I've been around a long time. I dated a lot of women. A lot of women. Might not have been for 6 years each woman, but I didn't need to. Because I was like, oh, literally, you are too much work. Literally. Like when your lives don't gel in the slightest aspects, but you're together, you gotta question that, right? But some people can make it through the day. Sure, they bicker. Me and my wife have bickered for like once a week for our whole lives, but it's like minimal. We're bickering over like a dirty fork or a sock, or like I'm wearing her one sock on my left foot. Here, I'll show you. I'm also wearing her pants, but who cares? I love her soft pajama pants, right? I had them almost falling right down. But still, so there's like stuff like that, like, and she didn't get mad, but she could have, but I don't. I know how to deal with the whole situation. I said, yeah, okay, I messed up. I put one of yours on. I saw it. I was like, it's a comfy sock. That's why I wear it. It's not because it's like out of spite. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna enlarge your sock. It's because I love the feel of these socks. They feel nice on my feet. They're very cushiony on the bottom. It's a much better sock than the Reebok, the Socani. That's why I prefer the Socanis, but I couldn't find two of them. Even. And I don't like my wife to see me wear socks. It's easy to tell. They're freaking pink, right? And this one's teal, so I kind of like the teal color, the aqua color. But that's how she goes, right? But Vanity, do you want to pay $50,000 in your lifetime for waffles? Or do you want to go down the street to the nice family restaurant where they can totally just earn money and they go on vacation and make memories with their family and friends, close friends that are good people? Who do you want to have? And their waffles are they're $5 for a waffle instead of 25 at the generic chain that exists on every corner. You know what I mean? You want to go to fucking Waffle Time, or do you want to go to Joe and Mary's Waffle House? You choose, but you're a bitch if you take the generic Waffle House. You go to the mom and pa all the time. You always support your friends. You don't go out and support some corporation you never heard of before. Where I'm from and where I grew up, this is all common sense. This is what grounds a community and keeps it strong. This is why some communities double in size, stay good, while others just are shit, get run down. Nobody pays any all the taxes are not going towards streets. They're going towards fucking baseball diamonds, hockey stadiums, and football stadiums. Look at Vegas. Vegas is a prime example of that right now. 15,000 homeless people in Vegas, minimum, they're saying right now. And of those, 10 to 15 to 20% of those people live underground right now in very unsanitary conditions in the heart of Vegas. So, oh, and did I tell you that they got funding to build that stadium? $200 million in federal funding went to build that stadium, that hockey stadium. Now they're talking about building one for the football stadium, then a baseball stadium. Do you know how many fucking low income they got to get those people off the streets? People over a decade or over 30 years? Do you know how much harm and pestilence is going to spread worldwide from that underground? Not that they're bad, that the people who exist in their communities don't help them. Not the people paying the taxes, doing the right thing every day, going to the hospital, working, or turning the power on or turning the water on, or mowing lawns on the public streets or whatever, on the residential streets outside your boulevard or whatever. Like, they're doing the right thing. But the people who, and are they totally though, if they're not talking about the big issue down the street in the middle of the heart of Las Vegas lies an underground facility that is full of the most less fortunate people you've ever come across. They have little cities down there with their own mayors and their own corrupt laws. Like, can you make this stuff up? But here's the thing. Who's talking about that? When I went to Vegas over a decade ago, I was so sad. I was like, it was bad. People that come here, they're like, oh, Winnipeg. People love to point fingers. I know my city is. I've always said my city's rough and dangerous and all this and that. I'm first to say it. And there was people, oh, because they never leave their fucking house after 9. There was this lady on this bus one time. Me and my wife were on a bus ride, and I ended up making friends with these other people who were cool, really cool people. And then this one lady, she was from Winnipeg, and she's like, oh, I never heard somebody talk about the North End like that. I didn't diss it. I have many friends who have grown up in the North End in the 90s who are great people. But maybe not many, but I know a lot of people in Winnipeg. Like, I don't want to sound like I know every person from the North End, but they're all good people. There's a lot of bad people all over the city. In every rich area, there's bad people. You know, in every public office, there's a lot of bad people. In every dispatch, police station, there's a lot of bad people. There's some good people too. But there's a lot of bad people in every area all over Winnipeg. And it's despicable. It's despicable the way these family lines have been able to be drawn in the sand, connect the dots to big business, keeping their families at the top or their best friends who are in on the plan. This is where you vote. You never turn your back on these people. These people are, they got me here, so you got to now you stuck doing them favors every time. You know what I mean? They're gonna wear dirty old cloaks and these weird fucking gold symbols on their chest. These people are the lowest forms of life you could possibly imagine. Possibly imagine. But remember that. You're not gonna hear that from anyone else besides a real boss. Like this guy. There's nobody out there pretending like they're good who's evil. There's nobody. All the evil people don't work. They work. They own a company and they don't do anything all day. Think about that. They make $2 to $3 to $7 million, and they deny you policies, or they put you in prison, or their best friends jail you because they asked them to, right? Or the cops look you up and they try and dig info on you for some ex-wife. All over the United States and Canada, that happens every day. But again, these people are put in place by others to protect them, not you. Don't forget that. Everyone is a huge game of smoke and mirror. I love it. Uno. There's a card in Uno called Reversey. Whenever you need them, just remember those fucks are the gods will play a Reversey card. Every time you rely on some of the most despicable ABC entities, you just got Reversey. Whatever you expect or you think your entitlement is going to be, reverse that right now. I'm telling you. The only way you sit at the top is if you do the most devilish deeds to earn your way there. And I refused to early on. I saw the people who, I can't say too much, but let's just say the biggest functions and the most powerful rich people, they came across here. And they had sent minions, right? Like everyone is like tiered, right? So you send like a low level tier with the same amount of subs as you. You know what I mean? And you try and relate, or you pile a lot of money into their channel compared to anyone else. You over donate to be the top donator, right? And I don't want to get too into it because this scheme can be repeated, right? But also you'll run out of funds before you actually get rich. That's what you don't understand. Second thing you don't understand is it's not about, you can't get famous. Again, did you do the most awful devilish things possible for them for a very long time? Then you're not going to be famous. There are pictures of Kate Moss, Diddy, Kanye, Paris Hilton, Kim Kardashian. You got to look on the internet. 2014 pictures. It's wild what you'll see. And there's way more famous people than that. Like, I didn't really name too many dudes there. It's wild. It's wild. Suge Knight, if you look up some of the stuff Suge Knight was saying, all that stuff's true. But see, the biggest players in the game on these, I gotta watch, on these different platforms, with their big ass hundreds of billions of dollar contracts. There's only a couple of them. Use your head. Well, they will. That specific bald dude still uses the keyword conspiracy theory. Do you know who created that word? That's who he works for. He is the biggest loaf on the internet. Oh, and I said it back 5-6 years. I spotted him early. You see what I did there? I spotted that bald dude early for a complete, absolute. His jokes aren't funny. He's not a funny guy. And he has some of the wettest, stinkiest, dirtiest people on the show. That's how I know he's not real. They pay him for that spotlight. I'll see you next time. Peace.